Welcome Galactic family. May you live interesting moments. Blessings, my beloved. We live in a unique moment in creation. I hope you are enjoying being alive in such a special moment, and that you know how much you contribute, if you have consciously decided it, on this cosmic change that our planet as well as ourselves are experiencing. If you have thought that you have seen everything, again, the cosmic energies will surprise you with the new waves of this magical full moon that brings healing, in the 13th degree of Pisces, whose main essence serves to help us transcend an old karmic cycle, as well as the duality in which we are immersed for eons, and begin to access the light of who we really are. Unsurprisingly, we have been subjugated by negative forces for a longer time than we can imagine. In this moment of transition, these negative forces, because denying that they exist might not be wise or useful, are trying more than ever to regain control, to manipulate and to continue using humans as their puppets. We, ascending souls, who are aware of what is occurring on a deeper level, and especially those who act as anchors of the new earth, must remain at all times in the enlightened presence of their soul, where clarity and true power reside, to remain steadfast, above any other form of manipulation. As we leave behind the old three-dimensional earth and access the higher timeline we have chosen, past memories as well as old wounds are likely to emerge. This is not to say that you are not doing the proper inner work, although only you can actually know it, or that there is something wrong with you. The ardent energies received throughout the summer, especially those coming from eclipses, plus this full moon in Pisces, are stirring up all that is not yet united. This is a gift, take it, it will not hurt you, it will set you free. Are you willing to face the shadows and welcome the truth that comes when you are ready to face yourself? With Pisces comes liberation, which can only come after it has latent, and we experience what we are not. It is with Pisces, the last sign of the zodiac, that we begin to remember our true origins, removing karmic debts, purifying ourselves and acquiring personal enlightenment. The eclipses, along with the full light in Pisces, mark a key point in the collective, because this will bring the truth above illusion, healing and many revelations, especially to the souls that are healing and deprogramming. Truth is revealed only when one is ready to face it, and one becomes strong enough to disengage from all human illusions that have been nourished for a long time. It is with the intuitive Pisces that we begin to learn how to flow with the whole, accepting whatever comes into being as a blessing and reminding us that we are all one in creation, finally moving from our three-dimensional personality programmed into a sovereign space and compassion, free to ourselves and to the whole, welcoming not only our individualized aspect, as it was at the beginning of the zodiac with Aries, but all the multidimensional aspects of who we truly are. When we come to this water sign, it is because we are ready to go up another step in this infinite evolutionary spiral of creation, and we begin to activate our higher chakras and awaken us to cosmic consciousness. This full moon brings us the message to transcend an ancient karmic cycle and welcome one in which there is no density, illusion and or oppression, because we have faced this for a long time, and now is the time to remind ourselves again where we have come and overcome illusion of separation. During this month, and especially with the full moon at the 13th degree of Pisces, which is in fact not a coincidence at all, but a perfectly synchronized cosmic alignment, we, who consciously have decided to do so, will have the opportunity to dwell in a superior space of harmony and conscious co-creation, leaving behind the old three-dimensional matrix, which has encapsulated us for so long. It is our opportunity to liberate and align with the timeline of the new earth that we consciously choose from within the five-dimensional world. The degree to which this moon occurs, 13 is the number of the transformation, represented in the tarot by the letter of death, which does not always indicate the physical transition, but a profound transformation that takes place internally and that makes our reality change. We do this from within. A number related to karma and often manipulated to infuse fear into the masses. It is a message to transmute and rejuvenate us, because where we go, the burden of the old memories or what we consider from a human perspective, the past damages, will no longer serve us, because the energy of each being can be strongly felt, and no one can hide behind a mask of what are the true intentions, nor can we cover up our higher senses, as we did when experiencing the three-dimensional domain. On a cosmic level, the full moon in Pisces, making conjunction with Neptune, the planet of illusion, but also of dreams and the unconscious, which is retrograde in degree 13 of Pisces, also 12049 of Pisces. As we also have the Sun in Virgo, which tries to do things in the tangible and use its strength to serve the whole. We are invited to bring down from all the guidance and wisdom necessary for that is, to anchor in our earthly plane everything what we learn and visualize, in the higher realms. Because, as I always say, we were not meant to come here to live in the etheric, but to become masters of how to bring down all this magic, love, and remembrance to our tangible plan. It is a time to anchor us, because only by having strong foundations can we grow, connecting with our higher aspects, while remaining anchored on earth and its foundations. This is a challenging time for those who are doing the inner work of conscious release and dissolution of the old, but it is also a time for the magic, the revelations, the truth and for the integration of all the wisdom received, when we do not fear to sail in our subconscious. For those who are getting rid of addictions, and again I repeat, that addictions are not just about using drugs or drinking beverages, but about anything that keeps us attached to something/someone for which we give up our power. We must be careful at this time because they can be tested by the power of Neptune and Pisces. Neptune and even more with Chiron in Pisces, too, do nothing on their own, are simply energies. However, it is our decision to determine how to direct that energy, since the essence of Neptune is so that we can delve into our deepest wounds and hidden aspects. And people, who are facing addictions, are more likely to fall into it so completely that they get lost in these deep waters. In addition, we may feel more sensitive than usual, especially during the full moon. That is why it is important that we become witnesses of our life experience, and from an outside perspective, we can realize when we are living in mere dreams and we are delirious, and when we are fully in control of our wounds. Because this will create an imbalance between being anchored or just being anchored in the ethereal, which, again, will only recreate in the physical a destabilizing reality, with results that are not aligned with the true desires and will of our soul. With regard to physical sensations, this is very unique, as I always say, but it is common to feel pressure in the heart region, or it can also be felt as anxiety, exhaustion, etc., as you continue to anchor more and more into a higher dimension. This is due to the density we lose when we leave behind more of the old. If you feel everything with more intensity and even feelings of release in the form of tears, it is due to the pain that your three-dimensional ego self feels when you release the familiar as well as the past. Let it be, feel it, allow yourself to mourn what is not even real, because this will create the opportunity for you to see that nothing or nobody was yours to begin with, and that at the same time everything is one, dancing together or apart from time to time, experiencing different realms and experiences, until we again remember the power of divine unity and love. There will be another event just before the full moon in Pisces. Mercury will go into direct motion on September 5th, at 28:25. I must follow my truth and act as the integrated person that I consider myself to be, and although I know that this is important for you, I have decided that I will no longer continue to share or give importance to something that belongs to the old and that just continues to feed this illusion of 3D of Mercury being retrograde, which is only an illusion of optics, which we have from here on Earth. As you believe, you create. If you believe that this has caused you many challenges, everything in creation will obey you, and thus you as such, not because it is true, but because the universe always treats you as the masters you are of your own experience. If you, like me, start to stop feeding, consider or fear this limited belief, you, as I am experiencing, will never complain or even remember it again, because you will continue to experience infinite abundance, joy and all that, because it does not matter what is happening in your reality, was created by you and orchestrated by the Divine Self due to superior motives never provoke delays or do anything for you. When the person flows, stops feeding old myths and begins to take charge of the reality itself, all impediments disappear and the road begins to be illuminated again. In the period of the full moon, we also have Venus in quincunx with Neptune. As always, energies simply are, and depend on what we do with their essences. This is not a fatalistic aspect, because it must also occur to help us become more aware of our relationships and begin to release whatever needs to be done. It will show you the aspects you still do not love or pay attention to, hiding them and trying to fill the empty spaces in which you do not love each other's love. It is here that you will finally realize that you are experiencing an enlightened meeting, or if you still have a relationship based on the old way of loving, where love is believed to be attachment, control, manipulation, lack of freedom and expansion, together or not. It is also a wonderful time for them to look at themselves. Speaking of the negative self is the main thing that prevents you from loving yourself, because you are unconsciously programming yourself to not receive, because you are not worthy, hence you command the universe not to treat them well, because you do not deserve, and this it's the only thing you'll ever see. Do you tell yourself how physically bad looking, instead of honoring your body that is serving you well, and which is also divine in this physical reality? Do you still treat yourself as if you were not important and give priority to others? Or are you finally realizing that just by loving and respecting yourself, as you are, can you really love everyone, which is just a reflection of who you are too? Soul star seeds, light carriers and anchor of the new earth. As you may already be feeling, this is a very important and at the same time challenging step, for everyone to always remain in the light of who we all are, which is not always easy for the three-dimensional human. Star seeds, be aware of the constant manipulation that is happening, and especially at this time, during the turbulence of the eclipse still with us, and in this full light in Pisces, which is conjunct with Neptune, of the massive manipulation that is taking place on the part of the dark forces. Some of you already know, because you have faced these attacks, and now you are well informed and prepared by the guidance of your unified soul/I. Others are just beginning to wake up and realize, and still others may not even be aware of what is occurring and where that negativity comes from. Having discernment from a soul space is essential for you to understand who you are and what is happening in your unique life experience. No one can tell you, but you yourselves. Others can act as assistants, confirming what you already know, but if you look outside for what you do not yet understand, because you are not ready, or simply because everything we need to know comes in time divine, then, you will be manipulated. Communicate with your soul. Protect yourself, set limits, and when you feel constant attacks of these negative forces, especially the astral, where not all are fully aware yet, try not to panic and remain in love with all, even if you consider it harmful, because that is the only way you can prevent them from succeeding. When it is not known what is happening behind the veils, it is feared. That is why it is essential to be well informed, not deny the truth of these forces, and in order to be well informed, one must first know where to look in search of guidance, and this is always internally. Use as much time as you can during the day to consciously work in your emotional body. This is essential to erase all the painful karmic memories and start releasing old fears so that we can see clearly what is happening and not live from a space of fear, but from a compassionate and loving one, which does not mean that it is not a space of empowerment, freedom and sovereignty, because this is the first step towards liberation. Be careful who you share your experiences with. Some may dwell in illusion, but not all are in this space, and in sharing with others who are not aware or awakened, you are putting yourself in a position where you could be manipulated and taken as fools without being. And therefore, by hiding instead of welcoming and bringing to the surface what needs to be dispelled. Calm down, internalize and open up to receive the right person and the tools of light that will help you on your journey. Remember, fear repels, while love and openness attract. I wish you all a magical, revealing and healing full moon in Pisces, beloved companions. With infinite love and light,